Hey guys, this is Phyllis Tutorials, and today I'm going to teach you what layers are all about. So I'm going to open paint.net, and as you can see here, I was supposed to tell you, but I just forgot that you cannot see these boxes that I was sewing. So basically, I was changing colors and you couldn't see that box, and you were like, what? Sorry about that, guys. I hope you can see. If I don't know if I put it in the middle. If you can't, I'm very sorry. Anyway, so in your layers box, you should have this thing called a background. Don't color that in, you leave it white, unless you want to make the background color like that. Or if you want to make a background color or a gradient, use it like that, you can use it. But I'm going to leave mine black. Now you have a new layer, and this layer you're going to call it, basically this layer, I'm going to draw a human face, or actually stickman. Okay, now I'm just drawing a stickman, okay, so it doesn't mean that you need to draw a stickman too. This is not how layers for just a stickman. This is basically, I'm just naming. So basically, oops, I'm still on a gradient too. You're on the layer stickman right now, so once you are on that layer, basically, I don't know, draw the stickman. I am not using a graphics tablet right now, so it's pretty stupid. So you make a weird stickman, right? I don't know, get him some hair or something. Some really swaggy hair. Whereas hair on fire? No, I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, and basically, I don't know. If you want to be really complex, you can draw stickman 1. You can make a new layer, stickman 1 hands. In fact, I'm going to be very complex for a pointless drawing. Dare I even call this stupid thing a drawing? Add new layer. I'm going to make it stickman 1 hands. Now these hands are really just stick hands. They're stupid hands. They're not really stick hands. I don't know. I just feel like calling them stick hands. Yay! So he's got hands now, fingers. So once you've done that, you add new layer. You say add new layer, and you go on. You double click it and you name it. You name it. I'm going to call mine stickman 2. So you can get another color, use the same color. I'm going to draw another color. Now I'm going to get this and draw some weird sort of, like, there I call it afro hair. And I'm going to make a stupid, okay, no, that's a bit too bad. I'm going to make legs. Okay, and then I'm going to add a new layer with a speech bubble. Speech bubble from sticky 2. I'm gonna make it black. Oh my god, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to go long fit really badly. Yo, I'm gonna say yo. So there we go. So you've got the stickman bubble. Now, let's see. Next to in the boxes, you should have this ticky thingy. When you untick them, you make it invisible, making it transparent. So now I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So here goes the background. So it's all dotted lines. Here goes here goes stickman 1. And here goes stickman 1 hand. Here goes stickman 2. And then there's the speech bubble from sticky, right? And so it's just a blank dot page. And that's basically it when they're all the layers are invisible. And then you can slowly start ticking them and making them visible again. And you can do it. Now, usually, if you're posting something on DeviantArt, you'd like to make it transparent. So how you do that is you go on the background and untick it. And for now, it looks like all these dots and stuff, but you keep it like that because it is very nice to see transparent. It just goes with it. I like to make my comics transparent when you have white space now. So, basically, that's really what layers are. Layers, it's like when you've got paper, alright, when you've got paper and okay, cartridge paper, which is really thick, right? You know, that thick type of watercolor stuff. Well, you go and just pretend these are layers, right, of overlapping and stuff. No, so actually pretend these are layers, right? And these are the layers, and they're like, let's say there are 3 layers, and they are what make the cartridge paper as thick as it is. So without the painting, without layers, you know what I mean, it would look untidy if you draw the stick man just on the background, BG, you know. So use layers. As layers are very important, and they're not too hard to understand what they are. I don't know how to explain to you what exactly layers are. Layers are more like how do I explain it? Layers are more like layers are very, very sort of basic, but at the same time they're hard to understand what they are. So I would go and type in on your browser. I would type in. Now let's type in something like what are layers for exactly. Basically, you just type that in, and it's pretty straightforward, as you can see. Layers, Photoshop layers, for instance. Let's go on the Photoshop layers. Where layers are layers. Layers are, as you can see, layers were introduced in Photoshop 3.0. This totally revolutionized Photoshop. For the first time, you could do complex compositions. So basically, what layers do are they make your compositions more complex, more interesting, more detailed. So layers are very important for that type of thing. Easily without having to be channel's guru. I remember before layers, I'm reading from the webpage. If a client wanted to make changes to a composition or even change a font, you were in big trouble, because you cannot do that if you're just on one background thingy there. So layers were only introduced in Photoshop CS3. What is a layer? A layer is simply one image stacked on top of the other. Imagine I have a piece of paper and I paint it red. Then I take a piece of clear cellophane and paint a yellow. I'm reading from the webpage yet again. A yellow circle and lay it over the paper. Now I take another piece of cellophane and paint some blue type and lay that on top of the yellow circle. I now have a background, red, and 2 layers, yellow and blue, just like in the picture below. Basically, it's a background with 2 layers. So basically, look, this is what it is. See, that's one flat, that's 3D, that's flat, that's 3D, that's 2D, that's 3D. So basically, that's very interesting. That's basically what layers are. Broken apart, you can see how the layers work. Each layer stacks on top of the previous one. That is it. The concept of layers is that simple. Photoshop uses the layers palette to allow you to do this with your images. More than one layer is called a composition. So you can see what layers are if you go and ask these things, because layers are very simple to understand, but at the same time they've got a bit of that difficulty to understand. Let's see. Let me see how this does that. Huh? Sorry, because I'm watching the live stream. Photoshop layer palette is a powerful tool that allows you to do many special to your lathe compositions. So as you can see, that is what layers are exactly. Now I want to show you something. As you can see, this person here is using Photoshop CS5. So let me show you. These are the layers, and look how many layers she is using over and over again, just to make it more complex, more detailed. So basically, that's what layers are. And if you're really interested, you can go on live stream and go on something like, I don't know, type in something and like that, and you're done. Anyway, see ya. Bye bye.